Mathioli Charanam, Jayanantalala. Today's another Nayanmar. It's my favorite. Nayanmars are my favorite. I enjoy every time when I talk about them. This is every Nayanmar has a lesson to teach us. Some lessons. So this Nayanmar is it's about determination. It's about always speaking the truth. It's about keeping our word. How many of us really keep our word? It's about convenience, right? Swami kita kuda. Some of us, say, if this happens, I will come and do this in that tempo or do that in this tempo. And a lot of us just slide it away. Like, it's okay. Swami dane. He will forgive me. And we don't do it. Some things that you prayed for and you got it. I'm talking about the word we give the Lord. Word we give other human beings, forget it. It's like, it flows like the water. அதாவது தண்ணியில போட்டா அப்படி போயிடும் அந்த மாதிரி. Don't keep words, right? We don't keep our word. So many times we conveniently forget. இப்படி ஒண்ணு சொன்னோமா? Did we even say that? Did we even give a word like that? I don't remember. So many times, so many occasions, we find ourselves caught in this forgetfulness that it affects the relationships after. And then, human beings don't forget. Some of them have a very, very good memory, very sharp memory. They'll say 1946, 1946, 9 a.m. I was drinking my tea and this happened. Those kind of people are there. So be cautious. They will remember every word you say. But mostly, this Nayanmar that I'm talking about today, he keeps his word, which is very important, which we all just take it for granted, right? Our நம்ம பேச்சு ஏதோ சொன்னோம் அன்னைக்கு. He just said it, some emotion, we said it. நான் இனிமே இதை தொடவே மாட்டேன். And the next day we will touch it. ஒரு ஆவேசம், ஒரு இதுல, right? We say it in some emotion, some anger. And we go back to it. It's just another word, just another promise. This Nayanmar teaches us what is keeping your word. What is the significance of keeping our word? And of course, respecting a woman. That is a very important subject nowadays. When we raise a boy, the first thing we need to teach him is how to respect a woman. It's very important. Most of us, we treat our boys as prince in the house. And poor thing has no idea. He should learn to serve too. A lot of mothers are serving them. They forget to teach them how to serve. That also has to come. It's embedded in our culture that only women have to serve. No, men also have to serve. Men also have to do something. So this Nayanmar teaches us that also. Now you're curious, right? Thiruneelakantha Nayanar is his name. Now that is not his actual name. How did he get that name? What is Neelakantha means Lord Shiva. And why did Lord Shiva get that name? Because he swallowed the poison for the well-being of all of us, all the devas and the asuras. Understand, even the asuras are his devotees. He saved all of them that day when they were churning the ocean. The first thing that came out was poison. They were all fainting. They couldn't handle it. And he came and he swallowed it. And Ambal caught the poison. Right here, she put her hand and put the pressure. That that beautiful sight is something, you know. She put her hand and she put that pressure just to stop it right there. And that's why his neck turned blue. It did not go down his throat. Ambal illama Shivan illai. Shivan illama Ambal illai. There is no Shiva without Ambal. There is no Ambal without Shiva. Both are one. They need each other. So this story itself is it's a beautiful story where we understand that truth, isn't it? So Neelakantha is Lord Shiva. And because Lord Shiva did this to save everybody, shows his selflessness. He was not even bothered about himself, what that poison would do to him. His goal was only to serve the devas and the asuras, everybody, the world, from that poison. So to show the gratitude towards the Lord who swallowed the poison for us, this Nayanar always took the Lord's name forever. Thiruneelakantha, 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 Thiruneelakantha. The whole time he chanted the Lord's name. So whoever spoke to him, Thiruneelakantha, Thiruneelakantha. So that was what? His name. He got that name. Because nobody knows his name. That became his name. So slowly people, oh, that Thiruneelakantha, okay. So that is how he got that name. Everybody knew him only through that name. Now, where was he from? He was from Chidambaram. Our beloved Lord Nataraja, abode of the Lord. That is where he belonged. He stayed there and he was a potter. He made pots. His ancestors and all of them made pots, you know. That was their livelihood. He's not a big businessman and all that. We've spoken about big businessmen also, Nayanmars, who have had a good business and a lot of money and how they spent it, how they used it. But this one was a simple, not very rich. It's very, you can say middle class. Lot of pots that he made, he used to give it to the Shiva Bhaktas free. He wouldn't take money from them. And this was for them, for their bhikshai. You know, it was like a pot which we take from one home to another to ask for bhikshai. And that is where they serve the food or whatever. That is the pot. So that pot he gave for free. Lord of Shiva, Shiva Bhaktas, you know, they go on their pilgrimage and this is how they get food. So they need something to take with them. See how nice, how thoughtful. So adu நம்ம ஃப்ரீயா கொடுக்கலாமே. So it's going to be very useful for them. So that is what he gave. So he made a lot of these pots and he gave it for free. He served them. He used to call them, you know, he used to invite them home. He used to serve them. He used to feed them and gave them the pot. So this was going on. And of course, his chant, every day, Neelakantar, Thiruneelakantar chant. And of course, let's talk about his wife. His wife was very beautiful, very sweet, very beautiful lady. As always, with every other Nayanar that we have spoken about, she is also very cooperative, very supportive in his service. She also was a part of it. She also was fully involved in it. She served all the bhaktas who came to their place, and she was very welcoming. No complaints. No, oh, you're doing too much, oh, that. Nothing of that sort. That is a blessing where both are involved in the service together. That only the Lord can give, because somebody will be against it, right? But we have seen this throughout in Nayanmar's case. Every couple was together in this, and that is a big thing. Now, Sundaramurthy Nayanar has sung a song paying his respects to all the Nayanars. There is a song he has sung where he has mentioned every Nayanar and said, my respects to you, my respects to you. He has mentioned this Nayanar, but he has mentioned him first. See, understand there are 63 Nayanars. He has mentioned all the 63 of them in the song, but he has taken this Nayanar's name first. So everyone is curious, why did Sundaramurthy pick this Nayanar first? Adu irukku illaya? Why him first? There's so many other Nayanars. Why should he pick Thiruneelakantar first? There is a reason. There is a reason. So he says, Thiruneelakantathu Kuyavanar Adiyen. Adiyen is, I salute, Namaskaram. So he has mentioned his name first, and then he continues the song and mentions everybody else. Now let's dig deeper and see why. So when we look at this Nayanar's life, it's very simple. He leads his life. He carries on with this pottery business, and he makes earthen pots every day, praying to Lord Shiva. That's his routine, praying to Lord Shiva, always speaking the truth, serving Shiva devotees. Whoever he saw, served them, washed their feet, did namaskaram to them. Serving is this. His wife was also devoted, same thing. Every day they would cook for these people. And Lord Shiva also, is watching all this. It's not going unnoticed. They lead a simple life. Both the husband and wife chanted the same name, Thiruneelakantha, continuously. Now, this Nayanar had a small weakness. Everybody have something, right? All of us have some flaw in us. Nobody's perfect. Isn't that why we are born? To get rid of that, whatever little flaw we have, we should get rid of it and then go to the abode of the Lord. So this Nayanar had a small weakness, and that is he gets attracted to women. If they're attractive, he falls for it. That is one desire he had. I know it's not a good one. I know. But isn't that why we're talking about him? Let's see where it goes. He had a beautiful wife. Like I already mentioned, his wife was very beautiful. He didn't have to go out and fetch other women, but he did. Obviously, the wife comes to know. She confronts him. She's very hurt. She confronts him and she asks him, did you do this? Did you stray? Tell me. I already told you Neelakantar was very truthful. Does not lie. He said, yes, I did. Was not like truth, lies and dodging and all. It's very straightforward. Did you? He said, yes. Now his wife was very angry. Very normal, right? It's not a sin to be angry. It's normal to be angry. She's very angry. And she said, let the name of the Lord, Thiruneelakantar, prevent you from touching any of us, she said. She didn't say touching me. That is her. She didn't say it singularly. She used the word in a plural form. Like us, she said, Nama. That is what? That is all women, not just her. And she used the Lord's name. She said, let the name of the Lord, Thiruneelakanta, prevent you from touching any of us. That was something. That came as a blow. It was also a challenge for him. And also in the name of the Lord, who he loves. He loves the Lord, the name of the Lord always he takes. Yeah, you must be thinking, chanting the Lord the whole time. How could he do this? He was a human being. Mistakes can happen. That is why the story. But let's see where this goes. Because she took the Lord's name and she told him that, he took it as a challenge for himself to stay, curb his desires, and keep his word. He said, yes, I agree, I made a mistake, made a grave mistake, and I will never, ever touch you or any other woman in my life. In this life, I will never do it, he said. That was a word. He gave a word. That's not an easy word. For a person like that, it's not an easy word. But he did. Then life went on. Understand this. This couple was only in their 20s when this happened. They were young. But the girl, the wife did not run to her family and tell everybody and nothing. They led their life in the house under the same roof. They lived. They respected each other. They just didn't touch each other. That's it. But everything else was like husband and wife, running the household, doing the same earthen pots, serving the devotees, whoever entered the house. So much detachment was required to do that. Otherwise, it's always complaining. Ayo, என் life இப்படி ஆயிடுதே. So see what happened to my life. What a misery, self-pity. Looking at the neighbor's house and seeing, oh, Papa, they're so happy. The husband and wife are going out together. They're doing things together. But that's none of that. But They had a very peaceful life. There was, there was talking because they had to run the household. They were talking. And there was no sorrow or, there was no grief. It was not like they were missing anything. That is also something. For small things we complain, right? And look at this, it's a big thing. This is a very big thing. And there was no complaining. None of the family members or friends knew that this has happened. And they took a vow like this, or any of this happened. None of them knew. Because they were able to continue with their lives without any of this. Just husband, wife, running the household, serving the devotees. Their main goal was to serve the Lord and to serve his devotees. Okay, let's do it together. That needs so much of maturity. Both have to be agreeing to this. Even a little bit of ego could have driven one person out, saying, I can't be here, you carry on. In the end of the day, they both knew that we are serving the Lord. Nowadays, we don't find many people serving the Lord. Even to go to a puja, we find our schedules are so tight. We don't have time to even attend a puja. So this couple was a different level. None of us can compare ourselves to them. None of us. So their every day was only to serve the Lord and his devotees. When our life is based on just serving the divine, remember his eyes, the radar is on us all the time. He's watching, he's noticing with pride. My devotee. Look at them. So life goes on. Years and years and years pass by. And they're continuously doing their thing, whatever they were, doing. They were continuing with it. They avoided going out with each other, no fun and all that. Just this. They were sufficient for this, Somebody or the other will come. Shiva Bhaktas will come. They serve. They talk to them. They exchange stories about the Lord. Actually, a beautiful life. And none of them knew. The village, nobody knew. The family, nobody knew. So the lip was sealed. They both made this choice and they stuck to it. They slowly began getting older, right? Middle age. They were young, turned to middle age. Now they are in their 70s. Yeah, that many years. Now they are weak, a little less energy and all that, Not the same. But their service was intact. Nothing changed there. Even then, the door was open. Anyone could walk in and they will be served food and given shelter and a free earthen pot. The Lord, see how many years he's waiting and noticing how many years he's waiting and noticing how many years he's watching. Test ஆனாலும் சும்மா இருக்காது. But only a devotee can pass his test. So many years he's watching. Now he says, okay, now it's time for me to go. Pay them a visit. So he disguises as an old Brahmin and with his matted locks, vibhuti smeared, rudraksha malai. Aha, beauty. When he walks, there's a fragrant. And he knocks on their door. Neelakanta opens the door and sees this beautiful face. He's like the moon. What he's wearing. He looks like him. So bright and beautiful, with a beautiful smile. Neelakantara, are you Neelakanta? He says. And Neelakanta says, yes, yes, I am. Please come inside. And he welcomes him and he falls at his feet because the aura is so strong. You cannot miss it. And this is a devotee we're talking about. He sensed something special in that face and he fell at his feet. He served him. He washed his feet. And both of them, the husband and wife, wash their feet and they serve him food and everything. And then slowly they're sitting and talking when the sadhu, he pulls out a earthen pot, a bowl, and he gives it to Neelakanta and says, look, this pot is very precious. It is more precious than anything else in this world. It is very unique. Its value is more than gold or any precious stones. I want you to keep it safe. I have to go somewhere. I'll be gone for a few days. You keep this very safe. I'll come back and get it from you, he says. Neelakanta says, Swami, I make lot of pots. This is my profession. I can make more and give you. So the pot looked very ordinary. So that's why Neelakanta is telling him, I can make new pots for you. So Sadhu says, no, don't go by its looks. It's very precious. Anything you put in there, you'll get double of what you put in there, he said. So I need only this. So you have to keep it safe and give it to me when I come back. Thiruneelakanta says, I will go and keep it right now. Keep it safe, Swami. And he goes inside and he puts it in his box. Those days, no bank or anything. They all had this big trunk, under the cot or they always slide it under somewhere or put it in the loft somewhere. So he went and fetched his trunk and he put it there. It's a treasure box kind of thing, They all have this. I love precious things will be dumped in there. So he went and fetched that and he put this pot inside that. So nobody will touch it. And his wife was also watching this whole thing. She knows where the pot is. And he comes back and he says, I've kept it safe, Swami. Now you can go and come. Don't worry at all. I'll keep it safe. We have seen this in our previous story, Amarnidhi Nayanar story, where the Kovanam vanished. The Lord can make anything vanish whenever He wants. Wherever He wants. Now the test was for poor Neelakanta. He did namaskaram and he said bye and everything and he left. Just like he said, he came back after a few days and he said, Neelakanta, then of course the whole welcome thing, as usual, washing feet, everything happened. Gave him food, everything. And he slowly relaxed and he said, Neelakanta, I gave you a pot, right, the other day? Can you please bring it? Neelakanta said, yes, yes, I'll bring it right away. And he went. He went and he took that trunk and he opened it. Where's the pot? It's missing. Pot is not there. He called his wife. He called the helpers there. Asked everybody, and everybody said, no, we don't touch this box at all. We never touch this box. Nobody even looks at the box. And the wife was like, you kept it that day. I saw you keeping it. Where could it have gone? It's there only. See properly and all that. I can dig the whole place and box, nothing. It's gone. When Lord wants to make something disappear, He does make it disappear. So he comes out frightened, scared, with a sad face. Yes. Then Sadhu looks at him. Enappa, where is the pot? You got it? Says, Swami, I kept it very safe in my box. I have this big box with all my precious things. I have kept it there. I had kept it the same day. Now I can't find it. It's missing. The sadhu was, he was not happy. It's like, what are you saying? The pot just vanished just like that? How can something vanish just like that? Are you taking me for a fool? You're telling me the pot just got legs and ran away somewhere? If none of you have touched it, what's going on? He said. No, no, don't misunderstand us. Really? We have no idea? It is not there. We kept it that day. It is not there today, but none of us have taken it. Yeah, this is what I don't understand, he says. You not only speak of yourself, you speak of the whole gang here. And you say, none of us have taken it, but the pot is missing. Now that I don't understand, he says. The sadhu is getting angry. This poor Neelakanta is trying to tell him, why would I steal your pots, Swami? I make pots and I give away pots. So the sadhu says, listen, I told you that that pot is more precious than gold and silver or any precious stones. I told you its value. I gave you all the information. What guarantee that you not kept the pot somewhere and you're lying to? You must have done that because you know its value. You probably have it hidden somewhere. Why should I believe you? He said. You have definitely stolen that pot. What should I do to make you believe that I did not steal it, Swami? Tell me, I will do that, he says. Tell me, what should I do? Okay, call your child and hold his hand and promise. Those days, they say, oh, குழந்தை தலையை தொட்டு சொல்லு, right? That kind of thing. So that call your child and promise on him that you did not take it. Well, that nobody can do, Nobody does. Child is the vulnerable, the weakness. Everybody has. So he said, call your child and let's do this. He said, I don't have children. Oh, in that case, your wife is there. Call her. Call her, hold her hand and promise, he says. Then both of them must. That is the problem, isn't it? That is where the problem is. He has taken a vow not to touch her, and here the Lord, the Lord himself comes and says, hold her hand and promise. See what leelays the Lord does, right? It's been years, not one or two. Like I said, years and years and years. And here the Lord comes and says, hold her hand and promise. Both of them are staring at each other. ஐயோ இப்ப என்ன பண்றது? What do we do? Then Neelakantha says, Swami, I can't do that. I will dip in the tank and I will promise. But I cannot hold her hand, take a dip and promise. So he wanted them to take a dip in the temple tank and promise, holding hands. Poor Judge Neelakantha says, I cannot do this, but I will take a dip and promise to you. He says, this is fishy. Why can't you hold your wife's hand and take a dip and promise? No, 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 I don't agree with this. Something is very terribly suspicious. I can't take this. He says, okay, what I'll do is, I think I have to call the panchayat. Let's call all the panchayat people. And usually the panchayat those days are the older men in the community. So he says, okay. And then they can't say anything because the sadhu doesn't want to leave them. So they said, okay. Now panchayat is involved. Everybody's sitting. Whole scene is explained. Everything is explained. The panchayat looks at Neelakantha. They all know him. Poor fellow only makes pots. So they look at the sadhu and says, Swami, I understand your accusations. I understand your concerns. But Neelakantha is not like that. We know him for years. You go to his house, he will give you. He never takes. So whatever you say just doesn't sit. So with our experience, we are telling you, we belong to this town, we belong in this place, we are a community. This man cannot steal. Then the sadhu says, okay, you're saying he cannot steal. Why can't he go and hold his wife's hand and stand there and promise? Prove his innocence. Then the panchayat, looks at Neelakantha and says, Ennappa, simple thing he's asking. Holding your wife's hand and standing there, dipping in the pond. Why can't you do that? Just do it and prove your innocence. No. Neelakantha again looks at his wife and gazes in. We have a problem. We can't do it. Keravanayachani, he says. Panchayat, you're so old. Why are you so shy touching your wife? கைய பிடிச்சிருந்து சும்மா போய் பண்ணிடுப்பா, he says. Just do it. Just hold her hand and dip in the tank and prove your innocence. All this the Lord is enjoying. Now they didn't have any other go because now the panchayat is suspicious. If you're not holding the hand and doing the simple thing that the man is asking, You have something you're hiding. So everybody's getting suspicious. They didn't have another option. So Neelakantar had to tell everybody what happened. They said, I did this, and my wife said that, and I vowed that I will not touch her or any woman. And this is how we've been living for this many years. The whole crowd there was like, oh, none of us had a clue. How can you even do this? Because this is not possible. Not possible. They were shocked. They were admiring them. இப்படியும் ஒருத்தர் இருப்பாளான்னு. Can there be a person like this? Curbing the desires for so many years. Keeping the word. Respecting the woman. So many things. No? Because she said that, he kept the word. At the same time, he gave her all the respect. He did not treat her bad. So the beauty is, she also, when this happened, she also told the sadhu many times, no, my husband kept it there. I saw he does not steal. He will never steal and all that. So the wife was very dutiful. Ah, it's okay. He has done that. Let him take the blame. அப்படின்னு இல்ல. She didn't let that happen, right? She stood by him. But the time they took this, wow, this promise was when they were in their 20s and now they're in their 70s. That is what shocked everybody. That even today, he's not even holding her hand just to keep that promise. And he's okay to come and tell this to everybody because the promise, the vow was so strong and he believed in it. He had to stick to it. It mattered to him. And it mattered to her also. That's admirable. Why did the Lord do this? Why did he create such a scene and bring everybody there? To show them off, to show their greatness. The time had come to show their greatness to the world. That is why he created all the scene. So they were all very shocked. And then the sadhu standing there, right? Still the drama is continuing. So, and they said this, and the panchayat was shocked, and everybody's shocked. And the sadhu says, okay, okay, I understand. Okay, you don't want to touch her. No problem. I'll give you the stick. He threw a stick at them. Says, now go in the tank, hold the stick, each end. You hold one end, she holds one end. And now you take a dip and promise, he says. So you don't have to touch either. The stick will solve the problem. You could have told this long back. No, he says. Hold the stick and take a dip now. So both take a dip, holding each end of the stick, and they take a dip. When they emerge out of the water, they are again 25 years old. Back to the age that they took the vow. The Lord gave them back those years. They emerged as the young couple that they were. And this everybody there saw. And that time the sadhu had disappeared. He was not there. And the vision Thir Thiruneelakanta and his wife got of the Lord, sitting on the white bull with Uma Devi, giving them this darshan, where the Lord says, I'm so pleased with your devotion, the love you have for me. I'm so pleased. Just because you took my name and made that promise, you kept it till now. So many years. Because my name was there, you kept it. And he told them to continue their service. He has given back the young age to them to continue the service and then come back to him when the time comes. This is like giving them a pass before itself. Now we all get a pass, no? For, at work, we'll get a free ticket to some place. Sometimes a game or something, some concert. And the Mari free pass to Kailayam. எல்லாத்தையும் முடிச்சிட்டு வா. So amazing. So now we understand, or let me explain why Sundaramurthy Nayanar mentioned Thiruneelakantha Nayanar first. Just, we have to recall Sundaramurthy Nayanar's story when he was in Kailayam. He fell for these two girls, his desires, and then he was sent back to earth to fulfill those desires and then come back. Correct? So he understands being in Kailayam, being with the Lord, he could fall for those desires. And this person being on earth is full of Maya. He constrained himself. He curbed the desires for so many years. So for Sundaramurthy Nayanar, this was an achievement. He said, this man is incredible. Let me put him first. Any desire is something, right? We're all bound by desires, something or the other. Sit and think what you really desire, then you'll know. I know a few of you are like, I don't have any desires. No, you do. Desires does not mean only this. Desires are desires. You may be a foodie. You may like things only a certain way. That's also a desire. You're adamant about certain things. We all have some or the other desire. We like certain things to be just that way. We love movies. We love to cook. We love to eat. We love to socialize. We love to call somebody and talk. It's a desire. Why do you think it's not? So to curb something that you love is key. The person who does not get, let's say, for instance, person never gets milk in that area. That's just an example. And he says, I'm going to fast and I will not touch milk. Doesn't make any sense. What you see on a daily basis, what is available on a daily basis, you stop touching that, that is actual curbing one's desire. If you love onions, you curb it for 10 days, that is curbing desire. If you love something and you stop doing that, that is curbing. So we humans have a lot of desires. So this is something to remember, especially when you're fasting or something, don't go and fast like you're not eating anything. That's not fasting. Ask me how to fast, I'll tell you. There are ways to fast. But curbing from what you really love is actual fasting. That is why they fast. To control our desires, to control our mind towards that whatever food we are drawn to. Now you understand why I was talking about determination and curbing desires when I spoke about this Nayanar. There's a lot of things we learn from this story. Another thing is, for all us couples, whatever we could have, we could have small, minor, petty fights or arguments. It should never, never, never go out of the house. It should never be shared with anybody. Make sense? Because for everybody, it will be an entertainment. It is not, nobody is concerned really. Nobody is. They'll be concerned for a day. Second day, ayo, இவ கூப்பிட்டாளா? Same story. That is what they'll say. For them, it is entertainment. Nobody really cares. So we should understand our problems should be with us. We share it with others, becomes a news. It's the truth. Ambal always said, எல்லார்ட்டையும் போய் எல்லாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது. That is, don't tell everything to everyone. You have small petty fights. Think of this Nayanar. Everything will vanish. See, when we do curb our desires and we do the needful, the Lord always rewards. That is another thing we learn from the story. See how they got back all those years? Who can bring back our youth? Only Lord Shiva. We all put cream and do all this. One instant he gave it back. Can never get back youth. What is gone is gone. I incredibly enjoyed talking about this special Nayanar today. We have so much to learn from him and this beautiful couple. Thank you for listening. Jai Nandalala Mathioli Charanam.